whole lot of loving is what we'll be bringing. We'll make you happy.
Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Schools with Heart. I'm Olivia LaField, and as you know if you've been watching my videos, I'm currently approaching my 49th year in the classroom and more excited than ever to still be with the kids. So why did I not retire long ago and spend the rest of my life playing in my garden, traveling, and relaxing with a good book, all of which I love to do? The answer is all about love. First and foremost, I love kids. I love helping them become all they were created to be. It's the greatest joy of my life. Second, I love creating and expanding my social-emotional curriculum. Every year as I build on my SEL curriculum, the miracles in the classroom multiply at accelerated rates. In other words, the more dynamic my curriculum, the more I can help the children I love. And the third reason I don't foresee ever retiring is because of you, because of this new channel, this new avenue for helping not only my own students, but helping the many thousands of students in the country I love so deeply. It's no wonder I'm so happy. I get to do what I love to do, and if you've watched all my videos so far, you remember that my journey to becoming a teacher, to getting to do what I love to do, was an uphill battle against all odds. I'm here today because I lived everything that I espouse in my SEL curriculum. I am the little red hen who is enjoying the cake today because I have a towering growth mindset. I have ever-expansive emotional intelligence. I am learning every day to love on deeper levels, and I have grit. I share these insights into who I am because I really want you to know me, to trust my motives, and to help me grow this channel. It's no different than it is with the kids. The more they trust your love, the more they're willing to sit up straight and pay attention to your lessons. You've heard it said many times, I'm sure, kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Remember that every moment in the classroom. Let it be your guiding light. Now for today's focus, creating a happy, positive, respectful classroom atmosphere. Anybody interested? Happy, positive, respectful sounds like the classroom of your dreams, doesn't it? Seem impossible? Put that fixed mindset out of your mind and open up your mind to grand possibilities. Allow yourself to imagine such a classroom. The more you can imagine it, the more you're inclined to do what it takes to create it. You've heard Walt Disney's quote, "If you can dream it, you can do it." I challenge you to adopt Disney's quote today and apply it to your future classroom that up until now has been mere wishful thinking. I can't make you a dreamer, but if you definitely are one already, I can help you with the doer part. I can help you get your dream done, so to speak. So let's get right down to the doing. No one in a million years could ever have predicted that our entire world would literally come to a screeching halt last March before last, when the infamous COVID virus hit our shores. Suddenly and without warning, our classrooms were empty, and we were isolated from our students with only computers to connect us. Miles apart. No way to share a warm hug, bless with a pat of approval, or connect eye to eye. Nothing up close and personal. It was a recipe for disaster. But in happy retrospect, I am so proud to say that the staff in our school valiantly united to create the best possible scenario distance learning Zoom solution to the scourge. To our credit, we made the very best of a seriously bad situation and consequently limited our students' suffering to a bare minimum. From my perspective, Our most important task at the outset of distance learning was to somehow create a positive familial culture online. Clearly, I recall lying down for an afternoon nap one day with the intent of closing my eyes and not falling asleep until I had prayed for an answer to how we might create that culture. True to His infinite faithfulness, God planted the answer in my spirit, and when I awoke from my nap, I went straight to my computer and pinned a list of expectations that turned out to be exactly what we needed to ultimately create that positive, happy, respectful culture. After sending copies to all the teachers, everyone agreed to go right to work, making it the top priority. We agreed that we didn't want a list of rules that we expected the kids to obey because they had to. We wanted standards that they would agree to because they wanted to. We wanted standards that would help our students be better people. And that is just what happened. I'm now going to show you this list of expectations. Don't try to write them down. Just buy my poster book and you'll be able to create the exact poster I am now going to share with you. So we call this our respect expectations. And you can see it begins with, I respect myself and others when I, number one, when I treat others as I want to be treated with empathy, kindness, and humility. Now, if your students don't know what empathy is, you need to get on that right away. And you could talk about number one for a very long time, because they all know what kindness is, but do they know what humility is? Our students even learn what humility is. Number two, I respect myself and others when I am committed to developing a serious growth mindset. So when we introduced this poster to our students, they already knew what growth mindset is, but maybe this is what you may want to use to just begin to introduce these concepts one at a time. So growth mindset takes quite a bit of mini lessons till they really know what it is. Number three, I respect myself and others when I work hard to achieve my absolute best. Huge on absolute best. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till the good is better and the better is best. Number four, I respect myself and others when I can be trusted to do the right thing when no one is there to make sure. And so this is all about the skills of independence. That's the number fourth skill of independence. I respect myself and others when I control my actions so that I don't have to be controlled by others. Wow. Wouldn't we just love it if every one of our students controlled themselves? The skills of independence is all about that. I respect myself and others. Number six, when I don't distract others with my actions. Once again, that's the third skill of independence. So much of this poster is all about the skills of independence, which I cannot wait to share. The next videos 15, 16, 17, and 18, I believe, are all focused on the skills of independence in detail. You will soon be learning all about it. Plus in the book, oh my goodness, you just have to really read about it too, so that you can launch it into your classroom. Our second graders are doing the skills of independence a phenomenal job with the skills of independence. They know the skills by heart. So don't think that if you have little ones that you can't do that. Number seven, I respect myself and others when I praise the accomplishments of others. This is a big one that we are really working on. So we're really focusing on trying to help the kids pay attention to their peers when their peers have accomplished something wonderful, to speak up and say something about it, and speak words of life, so to speak, that make others feel so good. Number eight, I respect myself and others when I sincerely thank others for their efforts. Boy, do we talk about, there's actually a poster in the poster book on say thank you like you mean it. Number nine, I respect myself and others when I create a positive atmosphere. of all of them, that might be the one that we're working on the most. What is a positive atmosphere? We talk about it all the time. What did so-and-so just do? He created a positive atmosphere. Number 9. 10. I respect myself and others when I address adults respectively, like ma'am or sir. At our school, I'm ma'am. A lot of kids just call me ma'am. They say, "Good morning, ma'am," and they use sir with our principal. And you may disagree with that. It's old school, but I'm 100% committed and dedicated to I will never move an inch on that. That when my students say ma'am, when we require our students to say ma'am and sir, well, when we hope that they do, they don't have to, but our students are into it, and it shows extreme respect. It's made a huge difference in our school. I respect myself and others, number 11, when I'm a helpful, courteous team player. That's community for you. I can't wait for that one to come up. I have 5 videos on building community in your classroom. Number 12, you'll love 12. I respect myself and others when I obey the first time with a right heart. Obedience with a right heart will change everything in your school. I respect myself and others, the last one, when I strive to reach my full potential socially, emotionally, and academically as I faithfully work to achieve my personal goals. Coming up are some videos on setting personal goals and having a journal, and you're going to just love it. And at the end we have a better me, a better life, a better world. So those are our respect, expectations, and standards. Before we went back to in-person learning, I made one of these posters for all the teachers, except kindergarten and first grade. And now that we're back in school together, we apply the respect expectations just as we did with our distance learning. The one expectation that was the most challenging for the students was the one about verbally praising accomplishments of others. I have always encouraged my students to praise each other, but never like we do now. They're used to hearing their teachers praise them, but recognizing and rewarding the efforts of their peers is a whole different ballgame. In general, they're pretty shy about it, so they definitely need prodding. Little by little, they improved, except for the 7th and 8th grade. But in mid-May last year, they had a radical breakthrough that resulted from a relentless focus on that particular expectation. Because a few students in the class persisted in mean comments and hurtful teasing, the teacher doggedly revisited the expectations poster every day. She even challenged the students with reward. If they were positive for 1 week, they would celebrate with a party. She was a teacher with a powerful growth mindset who refused defeat, and this time it paid off big. I will never forget the day of the breakthrough. I was teaching a challenging English lesson on the types of sentence patterns. My anticipatory set was a passionate plea for the kids to really think as never before. I probably spent 10 minutes ranting about the brain and how if they don't use it, they'll lose it. That day, a student with a deep-seated fixed mindset who literally never raised his hand once to participate last year actually raised his hand and got the answer right. The kids exploded in applause. For the rest of the lesson, they cheered for every student who succeeded. And you can bet that I stopped 5 minutes early to evaluate that lesson. Everyone agreed that it was a fun lesson. Imagine that a challenging English lesson on infinitives, appositives, present participles, and dependent clauses was actually fun. But why? One by one, they shared that they had done their best thinking, that they had all participated, and best of all, they had cheered for each other. They finally experienced firsthand how good it felt to praise rather than ridicule. It was a breakthrough that had been a long time coming, but because of the persistence of their wonderful teacher, who refused to accept their negative behavior, and because she had focused so persistently on creating a positive culture, those kids will never be the same. No one would argue that you can't make kids respect themselves or others. You have to inspire them to want to. You have to show them how. You have to give them the tools, the lessons, the modeling. You have to refuse defeat. You have to hold the bar high. You have to go to the ends of the earth to help kids respect themselves. For without self-respect, they will never learn to love themselves, never reach their full potential, never experience true happiness. Children who learn to respect themselves grow up to become adults with character, the kind of character that Dr. King always talked about. As the teachers of America teach our children to be people of high moral character, one child at a time, the family unit grows stronger. One child at a time, our country is safer, stronger, and more unified. It can be done. One committed teacher at a time. I end today with the wisdom of Helen, Keller, who has inspired me all my life. I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And what I can do and should do, by the grace of God, I will do. Right now, if you haven't already done so, please hit the like button, subscribe, and get our movement rolling. Leave comments and questions, and for kids' sakes, buy all my books. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.